Alright, so what will replace smartphones? Before we begin, last month's poll, I have some results. And the poll was, will you use Ubuntu, something based off Ubuntu called Pop! OS, or something else? And I looked at your comments, and if my throat sounds a little dry, I was out late last night eating and drinking. But that's another story. Anyway, the poll results from last month, Ubuntu, Pop! OS, or something else. And somewhat interestingly, almost none of you chose Ubuntu. Almost. Like everybody, well, not everybody, but mostly, most of you would rather choose something else. And that's interesting because Ubuntu remains perhaps the most famous Linux-based operating system in the world. It's what I got started with back in 2004. I don't use it anymore. I don't really, like the GNOME desktop or whatever it's called. There was an article last month or a couple of weeks ago saying that superior Linux users use the GNOME desktop. This is a family channel, so I'll keep my opinions to myself. But those are the results from last month. Most of you, it seems, would rather use something else. A new poll. What will replace cell phones? If my history is correct, back in 1877, the world changed when Alexander Graham Bell invented something called a telephone. If my history is correct, and the world changed. So here we are, over 100 years later, we have smartphones. So my question to you guys are smart. Well, most of you. Haha. Shh. What will replace the smartphone? I have my thoughts. I'll give you my thoughts after my birthday this month. What I think will replace smartphones. So you guys tell me, okay, your collective open source minds that truly are amazing. You guys tell me what will replace smartphones. Okay, and you can answer that now or after this live stream. You tell me what will replace smartphones. It will happen. It's just a matter of time. Maybe not today, maybe not this year. What will replace smartphones? That is the new poll. Well, speaking of Ubuntu that I mentioned, the next one is scheduled to be released next month. Hirsute Hippo, I believe it's called. And I will probably take a look at it out of curiosity. But yeah, the GNOME desktop, I tried. You know what? I really tried, but it's just not for me. Yeah, it's been in development 10 years, and it still doesn't quite feel right. It just doesn't. So I stopped using it. Anyway, that's the poll for this one. What will replace smartphones? So I was debating about doing a news and nonsense right now, but my throat's still a little dry. I think I overate last night. All you can eat codfish and everything else and a few beers and talking loudly over the band. The band was fantastic. The Jimmy Z Trio from Pittsburgh. I don't think any Linux was used last night. Well, if you want to count my Android phone, based off of Linux, open source, I guess we'll, count that in. So I don't know how many people will be in this live chat. This was unscheduled. I'm actually going to jump in the shower here in a few minutes, but I wanted to get this out there to all you guys and girls. It looks like we have somebody in chat. Lamer is in the house. You've switched to Elementary OS. Okay, so is that better than Ubuntu? I tried it. It's okay. I don't think it's any better or worse than Ubuntu. It's different. But yeah, I'm going to stick with Ubuntu Mate. Now I did hear that Google Chromebooks are going to have more integration or attempt more integration with Android phones, which makes sense. You know, Apple and iPhones and all that. So, and some of you may not realize this, or may have not seen the news, that Chromebooks surpassed MacBooks in sales. Yeah, I need to upload a video on that. I finished editing it. Yay, Linux, right? So I'll stick around for just a few more minutes, Lamer. See if anybody else jumps in. If not, that's okay. I'm going to wrap this up. A short one. Drink some more water. Man, dry throat, and start my day. Yeah, I like to wake up at the crack of noon. Well, I went to bed late last night, so. If you hear any background music, that's my dad, who sent me a bunch of songs from Italia. If you would like to download the songs, you can check them out on his Bandcamp page. So Lamer says it's not better than Ubuntu, but it's the desktop that you like. Well, that's the that's their own version, Pantheon desktop or something like that. It's okay, yeah, it's different, but it's still a little bit too locked down for me. Yeah, that's why I still prefer the Mate desktop. Highly and easily customizable, easy to use, like an Android phone, like a smartphone, right? And if it's not easy, I'm probably not going to recommend it. At least not for beginners, right? So yeah. Man, there is so much nonsense news out there. We'll have to save that for next time. So, all right, so we will end this right now so I can start my day. It's just me and you, Lamer. Thank you for stopping by. So those of you who watch this on the replay, let me know what you think of the poll, and feel free to give me your thoughts below in the comments. And we'll give this maybe a couple weeks, which will get us into next month already. And don't forget, if you catch this video tonight in the States, the clocks go forward 1 hour. We lose an hour's sleep. But that's okay, because Sundays, see, Sundays I don't go to church. I celebrate St. Mattress, and I sleep in. So oh man. Anyway, thank you, Lamer, for stopping by. Thank all of you who watch this later on here on YouTube. It's always a joy. One last thing, I did get an email. Some of you, I guess, are not getting the notifications from Patreon, from my Patreon page. Let me know. I've never heard of that. If you're not, let me know. I'll just use Gmail. See, I don't know what's going on with that, if that's true. You know, Patreon has yet to post a profit, so I don't know how they stay in business, to be quite honest. But yeah, that's not my business. Okay, that's it for this one. I'll catch you on the next one. Arrivederci, Roma. Goodbye, goodbye, my love.